England just banned puberty blockers for all children, all minors, putting an end to a lot of the gender affirming care and transition therapy that kids are undergoing when they transition from one gender to another. This happens on D-Trans Day, actually a new day created to commemorate the transition, particularly of children from one gender to another who regret it and later in life try to detransition, even though in many instances they'll never be the same again. And many of them, two young women like Chloe and Katie, who I met earlier on the campaign trail, have actually expressed their regrets in a way that at least warns other kids to prevent them from making some of those same decisions. I bring this up because there's an angle to this that's really different than you see in the traditional political discourse of scolding a lot of this behavior. That's not where I'm coming from today. I think we've created a dichotomy between compassion versus standing for truth. And I don't think that these two things have to be in tension. I don't think that if a kid is saying that I want to transition from one biological sex to a different gender, that it's a compassionate thing to do for a kid to affirm that kid's confusion. I don't think that's compassion. I think that's cruelty. In many instances, those kids are going through something else difficult in their lives. And we as a society have constrained ourselves to say that instead of getting to the bottom of what else is going wrong at home or at school in that kid's life and to help them with compassion, we've now surrendered to this new culture that, at least for the last several years, has obsessed over saying that we're just going to indulge that kid's delusion in many cases. And I think that that's wrong as a country. You think about the number of people who this disrespects. The same movement that said the sex of the person that you're attracted to is hardwired on the day you're born now says your own biological sex or your gender can be completely fluid over the course of your life. Those two things don't make sense at once if you're applying principles of logic. But in a certain sense, this should be offensive to people in the G or the L prong of the LGBTQIA plus movement, saying that even if you are attracted to someone of the same sex, for many of those cases, you're now recategorized as being a member of a different gender. I think it offends many in the feminist movement for years from the left who used to say that there's many ways to be a woman. A tomboy with short hair, wear the pants you want, wear what clothes you want, even if it's what's typically associated with a man, that your body type doesn't have to look a certain way, and there's many ways to be a woman, now says that no, if you want to actually have the attributes of being a woman through transition, you have to look and even have surgery to appear a certain way. So no, I don't think it's the compassionate thing to do to indulge this new movement. That's not compassion, that's cruelty. And I think compassion and truth both lead us to the same place. That, you know what, when a kid is going through a difficult period in their life, they come out and they say that, you know what, I may have some confusion about what my gender identity really is. As adults, it's up to us, as parents, as teachers, as leaders, to reach out and help that kid, but to do it in a way that doesn't affirm that confusion and create a new fiction that our society has sadly bent the knee to. It doesn't have to stay that way. And on D-Trans Day, which is a newly commemorated day this year, on a day when England has, I think, taken the correct step of putting an end to the gender transition chemical interventions through puberty blockers, it's a good chance for us to reflect on what we might have to learn here in the United States as well.